Hi everyone, welcome to the stage. My name is James Pierre. Joining us now on that special episode is a superstar from St. Vincent. Who remember that artist making a soca hit version in 2004, Turn Me On?
Turn me on, turn me on, let me charm you. Go wine all around me. You got me going crazy.
Yes, that's right. I'm talking about the one and only Kevin Lyttle joining us now. Thank you, Kevin, for being here.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's really an honor. So many of our fans are talking about Turn Me On, and they know, so it's a pleasure now to get to know you closer. So first, let me start on how all of that started. So it started with St. Vincent, and you started at a very young age in music, is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, I've been in entertainment since I was probably 13 years old.
13.
Yeah, 13 or 14 years old. I mean, I was always interested in it, and fortunately for me, my mother's brothers, which were like she was the outside child, and they weren't as close, so I didn't get to know them growing up. It's not until I got older, because I was very protected, and my mom decided, well, she'll let me out the house a bit, and I was going to high school now. I was like 14 or somewhere there, and I saw them on TV, and I heard her say they're my family, my uncles. I'm like, what? So I was like curious about it. And then one day in school, I met this girl. She was in a higher form than me. She was like at senior level, at like an associate's degree level of college in my high school, because the high school had higher learning also after. So, and me and her always would talk. And then one day I was at the school where they rehearsed, and I saw her there, and the next day I went to school, I asked her about it, but I didn't know it was my uncles yet. I didn't know it was them that were doing that rehearsal in particular. And then I started putting two and two together, and then I asked her about it, and she invited me. And that's how I got to meet them for the first time for real and get to know them like that, right? And after that, I just got really involved with dancing, singing, acting and everything in school and in the group. The groups themselves were basically doing like entertainment presentations where to raise funds, to travel and stuff like that, to do group exchanges, and they would call upon every member in the group to do something talented, you know. So if you're not just a dancer and you could sing, you can do a number on the show.
So there was a support system there, not only from your uncle, but also from your parents helping you.
Oh yeah,
to
of course. My mom, well, you know, my mom, she was not in entertainment, but my mom is from the same bloodline, and she could sing somewhat, but she never followed it or anything. You know, she would always tell me that her throat would hurt her, so she never like did it. But her voice sounded good, so I was like, you know. But I actually just loved it, and a lot of the times I would sing songs like "Shower Me with Your Love" from Atlantic Star, which was a song that I could at least sing very close to the original artist, and that was one of my first breakout performances at a tea party to raise funds for the group to travel. I performed the song and the people went nuts, and that was when I decided, I think around the age of 15 or somewhere there, I decided, yo, I want to do this for a living.
Hit me with a text on Tuesday, didn't have no time to say. Busy, poke me on a Wednesday. Close my tongue.
But you also had a daytime job, if you want to call it 9 to 5, you know, a customs officer. You were also on radio as a...
Yeah, I did a lot of stuff because, you know, generally after school was entertainment for me. You know, as long as I could get to go do my dancing, get into acting, you know, just basically be in that limelight. I loved attention. I loved being cheered for and doing something spectacular and make people say, wow, you know what I'm saying?
Make a difference, not only in your community, but also now you make a difference for your whole country, everybody. You put the country on the map again. So let's talk about Turn Me On song. No, it's a hit worldwide. Like I said, in 2004, in UK was #1 and also for 7th on charts as well. What inspired you to say, okay, I'm gonna make that song? Tell me the conception of that project.
Well, actually, soca music, which Turned Me On actually was intended to be, was in a kind of area where the music was only being played during the carnivals. And you know that carnival is pretty much a constant in every single island in the Caribbean, including Jamaica, whose carnival is one of the youngest actually, because they were more about their own thing with reggae and dancehall.
Yes.
But they finally had to have a carnival, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Byron Lee and the Dragonets was one of the biggest, you know,
Absolutely.
stars in soca music, you know. So, I mean, sooner or later they had to have a carnival, but because of that, soca music being just carnival, I came up with the idea that I wanted to do a song that proved that I could sing, because nobody had ever heard me record a proper singing record with my what I could really do with
you
my
can do.
voice.
Yeah.
And I came up with that song, and then I came up with one that had me chanting, you know, because
okay.
before that I did songs that had me doing a more rough voice. I like they jump in, they
Yeah.
just jump in and waving,
With that bass.
that kind of voice. And you know, the general masses in St. Vincent had never really heard me sing a record per se, not a live performance, but a record that played through Carnival that really established a voice in the country that had me singing. So I had gone through so much different stages of entertainment in the country, where I'd been with bands and stuff like that, and it didn't work out because they were paying you $50 EC a show, which was like 10 or 20 US dollars to sing
so
and
many
host out
people
for
in the
hours.
band.
And these bands didn't perform for like a half an hour. They would perform for 4 hours straight. For a party, you would party until, and then you only get $50. I was like, huh? So after a while, I just got tired of it and started a solo career. And this is why now I decided to try both ways, because I tried it once before, it didn't work the way I want. So I tried both ways now. One, to prove that I can sing, which was Turn Me On, and also in a way to show that soca music doesn't have to be just carnival. The music can play beyond carnival. And that's what Turn Me On was in a nutshell. And the other song was me showing that shaggy voice. That that song was she got the wine, she got the wine, she got the wine. That does blow the man them mind, and me jumping up,
And when that beat goes,
voice,
everybody's up.
yeah. But that song didn't do that well, because when Turn Me On dropped, nobody wanted to hear anything else. It was really crazy that year.
Wow, wow. Turn Me On. We are all turned on the stage right now, but we have to take a quick break. Stay with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, there's much more to know about that special hit, Turn Me On. You're watching The Stage.
Education and opportunity within reach. You're watching MDC-TV.
Welcome back to The Stage. My name is James Pierre. Our guest is Kevin Lyttle. We continue our conversation. Turn Me On, that's what we were talking about before the break. So now, after 2001, you did something major in 2003, which is you found a label, you signed under that label, and you had another collaboration with Turn Me On. Tell me more about that.
Well, you know, what happened was it was 3 years of me performing everywhere with the song, because at first, too, people didn't know where to peg me. Where is he from? Who is this guy? Because I didn't have the type of marketing and promotions. I had my face out there as much. And I'm coming from a small island, you know, and in the Caribbean, if you're not Jamaican or Trinidadian, you don't get that kind of marketing because there's not that type of investment made in the entertainment industry in the smaller islands. So I was kind of working with a handicap, and hence I had to really work twice as hard to get myself out there, yet not as hard as Caribbean artists to cross over, because now the song was getting played on mainstream radio in Canada. Even in Miami, you know, a lot of the reggae stations was playing me, so hence I was getting mainstream spins on the reggae programs on the mainstream stations here. So now the song is charting in different places around the world. I'm #1 in Holland without a label. I'm #1 on radio stations in Rhode Island without a label. So now I end up on a big concert with 50 Cent in 2003. And people like Little Mo, Fabulous, Busta Rhymes, you name it was on that show. And it was the pivotal moment for me with Turn Me On, because from the time I hit the stage, it was pandemonium. The people went nuts. They didn't really know what I looked like, but they heard my voice, and the whole place went bonkers. It was like 40-something thousand.
For the longest while we're jamming in the party, and you're whining on me, pushing everything right back on top of me. Yeah.
You had to make more sacrifices than other artists from the island because of where you came from.
Yeah,
but what is it you had to do as far as sacrifice? Did you have
Well,
to?
you know, I had to work for a lot less money than a dancehall artist, because, you know, in Jamaica, dancehall artists come out, and the rest of the Caribbean have a certain type of perception of them, and they pay them more money. You know, I was getting sometimes $800 for a show, which was a lot of money for me, because I was making 800 EC dollars per month as a salary, and now I'm getting $800 for a show, and I'm doing like 10 to 12 shows a month. So that was crazy money for me, but it was way less than what other artists in the Caribbean in different genres were making. And you know, so like new artists from Jamaica will come out and they'll be making $5,000-6,000 a show in the Caribbean once they have a hit song in the Caribbean. But with soca music, or you get categorized as soca or pigeonholed that way, that's what happened. I was getting 1,500 maximum sometimes, or 1,000. You know, so I had to work with whatever I got and work my way until I started getting more money. I was being seen now in the dance hall in Jamaica, because now the Jamaican market took the song, like if it's a dancehall song, because I had Madzart on there dubbing, who's an artist from St. Vincent. He sung it awesome, by the way. And that kind of pushed the song in a way where the Jamaican market thought I was Jamaican. So now Jamaican radio is playing me.
Because that's what I was about to say. I think somehow some people think that, is he from Jamaica, or, you know, what is he?
Yeah, so, you know, I mean, it was those type of hurdles, but they would not have been overcome if I didn't make myself present and take the small money and really work. And one time when I did Trinidad's Carnival, I had to give up my job with the government in St. Vincent in Customs, because I wasn't performing the way that they liked, because it was a bunch of older heads and they felt like politics. It was a bunch of politics. I got moved to agriculture and put down a level in the Ministry of Agriculture, and then I got moved to tourism, and then finally I just said, you know what, Trinidad Carnival, I'm booked so much. I got like 3 shows a night sometimes. And I went and I did it, you know. Normally, you wouldn't have to do that, but I had to go in there and do like 3-4 shows a night. I ended up making like probably a good 20 grand or 30 grand after the 2 months or something like that. But in comparison to what it should have been in the grand scheme of things and how big the song was, you know, it was a struggle. You know, I was host every night, singing 3 shows a night. You know, it was a lot of work.
It was a lot. But it's very important that you mentioned that, because a lot of young artists will think that, you know, I mean, Kevin Lyttle, I mean, he got it easy, man. So you had to make sacrifices in order to reach your goal, to reach your dream.
Yeah, I mean, it was a hard decision to give up my my steady monthly job for music, but I saw the potential and I decided that this is what I wanted to do, and I made the decision, and I did
And
what
look
I
at you now, man. But you create an opportunity for yourself. So you did not wait for a label to sign you. You did the song "Turn Me On," and then now the label.
I kept
find that.
self-investing, and you know, in 2003, like I said, after the show with 50 Cent, it was crazy. I was all over the newspapers finally, and people were calling my name. And then all the labels started calling, from Sony to Atlantic, who I got signed with finally. But it was a lot of labels, from Jive to Virgin. Everybody was having meetings with me.
Yeah.
And then finally we chose Atlantic Records, and we moved forward in, I think, around June, July, August, that 3-month period of the year 2003. The song was so big already in Europe that we had to put out the single in the UK. It sold 1 million records the first week in the UK. It was #2 for almost 10 weeks in the UK, and everybody else would go up and fall off, go up and fall off, go up and fall off, and I'd be at #2 going like that. So somebody I didn't pay. I don't know who.
But again, it's because of the song. The song is good, the message is good, so it's like "Turn Me On," and the you know, the tempo, the beat. How can you beat that? But you also do remix with the song. You choose to add a female voice to the song. Allison, why that choice?
Well, that happened that was actually the first remix to the song, and big up to Allison Hines, wherever she is. You know, the song needed a remix for Carnival in Trinidad, and we thought the most appropriate remix would be with a girl, and we picked the top female artist, which was Allison Hines. And Allison Hines was a big supporter of me at that time. You know, she heard the song first. She was one of the first major artists in the region to hear the song and say, whoa, this is an awesome record, and was playing it for everybody, and the stories were coming back to me that Allison Hines loves this record, and she's been telling everybody, and they heard it through her first and all this kind of stuff. So, you know, she was very supportive of me, and I've made the decision that even not just because she was supportive also, but because she was an awesome singer. You know, I put her on the record, and the rest became history with the remix. You know, that remix was done on the Can, which is the Canadian rights system that they have for music to play in Canada, and hence the song was able to go to #1 in Toronto and places like that. So, because the producer that did the remix he's of Canadian descent, you know, so that helped. And
that's really good. That's really good. Fantastic. We got to take another break. When we come back, I need to take my viewers closer to know, you know, you create your own label. You keep on producing, you keep on working, you have your contact with your fans. I want my viewers to know that when I come back after the break. Stay with us.
Awesome.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our last segment of the stage. My name is James Pierre. Our special guest is Kevin Lyttle. Kevin, you've been all around the world, so many countries, but I cannot be proud enough of you for being in Haiti, my own country. You know, thank you so much for being there. How was the trip in Haiti?
It was awesome, man. I've never been to the country until then, and I actually had a wonderful time. You know, I think the country is very badly promoted in the press internationally. I think it's a beautiful country. It's like any other third world country in the Caribbean. It's just a bigger population and the bigger island. You know, hence the segment of poverty is bigger than the segment of poverty in a smaller island, which my island only has 100,000 people. Your island has millions of people. You know, so, but I was so astonished and you know, surprised at the beauty of the island, the beautiful hotels, the views from the mountains. There was so much beautiful houses on the mountain sides and stuff like that. It's a beautiful place.
But you're not only visiting, but you're also doing collabo with one of the major artists in Haiti, Mika Ben. So that's major.
Yeah, I was
man.
hanging with Mika Ben, and he performed on the same show with me, and then me and him went into the studio the next day. We worked, started a song, but I had to catch a flight early in the morning, so I had to leave the studio and go pack and stuff. So we have to finish the record soon, you know.
How you cope with your fan? You know, I mean, because I know you're all over the place, but you also have a presence in social media, and you keep your fan updated on what's going on. How you manage to be a good father, at home, and also that mega star that you are outside?
Well, the thing is that actually being a good father and having that proper foundation in my life has helped me to balance my career, because understanding responsibility and having responsibility teaches you to be more responsible towards other things also. And you also get to see the world from a different angle, and when you have somebody who really cares about you, you can see who's actually there for you and who's not, because then there's somebody who really cares about you that's telling you when somebody doesn't really like you, or somebody doesn't really have your back. Somebody will tell you the real truth, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it has been more of a help to me than a handicap in terms of something to cope with. It's actually something that's been a blessing. And then where social media is concerned, man, if you can't keep up with social media these days, something is wrong with you. I'm just saying that point blank, because with all this technology, phones and stuff like that, as long as you can read and write, you can get on there and talk.
But I would say that's what makes you a successful artist, because you stay connected to your audience, so you know what your audience want. So when you're writing, you're not writing a music just to, for the sake of writing a music, but you're writing a music that you know that your audience will connect with. And you're not only making collabo with Mika Ben from Haiti, you have also collabo with Shaggy. Tell me about that one.
Well, the record is called Feel So Good to Be Loved. It has a very, how should I say, that kind of feel similar to like a record that Carmen Jill Scott, or like what's this girl's name? Like Amy Winehouse sounding type of record. They fall in that type of category, but with a Caribbean twist to it. And, when I heard the record and I did the record, I was like, this could take somebody like Shaggy to finally give it that Caribbean still, but keep it crossover also. I sent it to him, he liked it, and the rest was history. It was done. But it's not just Shaggy. We got Maya, got Florida. Wow. I got this record with Maya called Boom Boom, which is really interesting.
Wow. I know you're a major artist, and they are major artists as well. Yeah. For young artists right now, watching us, watching that interview. Yeah. How is it the collaboration? How you just make a phone call and say, hey, Florida, what's up, man? This is Kevin. I need you to be on my song, or is it like records to records? For them to know.
Well, it's not as easy as that, I mean, most of the time you try to reach out to other artists directly, or you try to, speak to their management, have your management speak to their management and work things out. Sometimes it ends up that you and them probably in the same studio working, or you're on the same show together. You get to make friends and do business with each other, because it's a business like any other. Everything that is done between each artist has to be financially viable for everybody, in terms of it being successful, because recording a record takes money, and then you have to think about marketing and putting it out and having it do something for you at whatever level you're at. So there's a lot to consider when you're doing collaborations with people, Yeah.
But not only that, now you have your in 2007, you founded your own record label. Yeah. So tell me about what motivated you? What said, what, I need to have my own?
Well, the thing is, after Atlantic Records, we parted ways. Very cordially, we parted ways because, there was some disagreements. I had some issues with my management too, and things happened, and, we had to split. And, I decided, well, it's time for me, as the music making machine that I am. I did it without a label before, and I could do it again. Now that I even have a bigger name in the world, I can do it again. So I started working on my own, and that's when I did songs like Home for Carnival, Losing Control, and stuff like that. And the year 2006, 2007, I met my now wife, and we had a discussion and we were like, yo, let's set up our own label. You hearing Akon has his own label, Convict Music and all this kind of stuff. So I was just like, let's look for something. We looked for a name. We registered it in Florida where we were. We came up with the name Terracon because Terracon means dragon in Maori, which is a language in New Zealand. And we were both born in the year of the dragon, and symbolizing fire, burning, powerful. So that's the reason for the name Terracon Records. And the rest is basically history. We've been building it over the years and figuring out how to make it as successful as possible, using my success and trying to bring young talent out of the Caribbean and trying to boost other artists also who don't really get the type of opportunity that I may have, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. But, I know we're getting closer to the end of the interview. Let's talk about advice. What can you tell a young artist, starting from anywhere in the world? St. Vincent, from Haiti, from Cuba, Bahamas, you name it, Jamaica.
Yeah.
What is it you think they have to do in order to be successful, in order to maintain what I would say the popularity, and also be a good father, be a good person for the community?
Well, the thing is, life still goes on no matter what success you have. There's things that remain the same. People live, people die, people born, people grow. And hence your responsibilities to the natural order of life doesn't change. You have to stick to that. Family, wife, kids, all those things are constant. But when it comes to success in any industry, whether it be music or anything else you want to do, it's all about being unique. And uniqueness comes from being yourself, because no one human being is the same. We may have same skin color, or we may have the same heart beating in our chest, but our intentions, our way that we get from point A to B is never really the same. And that's what creates the uniqueness in everything that an individual does. And we should not stray from our uniqueness. We have to figure out how to bring our uniqueness to the forefront and nurture it. Like me, my voice was so unique, and I found a song that fit it in such a way that it came across in a way that the world had to say, yo, I would pay $1 for this song. I would buy it, And that's what made business for me. For somebody else, like take Zuckerberg, it may be an app, Facebook. He's great at computers and science and programming and all of that. You have to look for your strength and nurture your strength. But don't be limited to one thing, though. Even though you have your strength, you have to also open your eyes to the world around you and open your eyes to diversifying also, because that's what's kept me over the years. Yeah.
Think outside of the box is very important. I cannot end that interview without talking about your upcoming album. Tell me, in a couple seconds, what's coming up for your upcoming album?
Ne l'écoute pas, vas-y suis-moi, non ne l'écoute pas, vas-y suis-moi, ne l'écoute pas, viens on va chez moi.
For the longest while we're jamming in the party.
Well, my upcoming album is going to be called The Diplomat. I have features from people all around the world. I've been representing my country as a diplomatic, in a diplomatic way. Just, cultural diplomat, just talking about my country in places around the world where they've never heard of it. Because I've been to so many places, from all the way down to Papua New Guinea, back to a little island in Italy, all the way over to the ends of South America, to North America, to Canada. So, I've gotten a diplomatic passport finally, which makes travel a lot easier.
So you don't have to take that line that I'm taking. See that?
Hence now the diplomatic passport, the album, The Diplomat, featuring a lot of major artists from different countries around the world. I've picked the best of the best from a lot of the countries I've gone to and put them in collaboration with me on an upcoming album. So hence I have people like Maya, I have Singular, I have Mode in France, I have King James in Rwanda, I got Ishwan in Japan, Min Mi Japan again, you know what I mean? Europe, it's just so much names I got from Sweden, Medina, still Florida, Shaggy, Maya, you know, it's gonna be a crazy collab.
It sounds
album.
like an album that's telling me the international instead of the, you know, because it looks like you have a taste of a piece of everything, you know, part of the world to make it wow. I wish you best of luck, and I know that for sure we're gonna keep on following with you on that album, and also, of course, your tours and what you do. Thank you so much, Kevin, for being here with us today.
Man, thanks
I
so much.
appreciate that, man. That was great. Thank you so much for watching. My name is James Pierre. We'll see you next time.